And then he proceeds to put the robe over her head. He ties the rope around her neck. He pulls out a fucking knife. Then he points the knife at her mouth. He's like, don't be scared. And she's breathing heavily like she has anxiety or something. And he's like, open your mouth. Then he slices a hole in her mouth. And then he's like, now you can sing. And then the episode ends there. I'm like, what? Hey yo, what's crackalackin' with my community today? My name is Londyn and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, what's poppin'? So you see the title, you see the thumbnail. Today I am talking about The Idol episode 1. Now, a bit of a warning, if you have not seen episode 1 of The Idol, go watch that before you watch this because you will get spoilers. So the episode starts off with Jocelyn, the main character, taking pictures in her big old mansion, and it's zoomed up close to her face, and the photographer is telling her to do different like facial expressions, like let me see you do laughing, let me see you do depressed. So they take a break from her taking pictures and stuff, and somebody hands her a pack of cigarettes, and she's just wearing like some provocative red robe and some panties, and her boobs are literally like almost out. Like if you move the robe you can see her titties. And then it switches to the next scene where her assistant opens her curtains to wake her up, and in this scene they literally have her like damn near completely naked, like her boobs just out there, and the only thing she's wearing is like a thong. It's just crazy to see like titties in like a regular TV show. So after she drinks her coffee, she walks outside to smoke a cigarette. Yeah, like she likes cigarettes, y'all. Like she's giving lung cancer, she's giving bad breath, she's giving rotten teeth. So the scene switches and there are some people talking about her and her career. They're talking about how Jocelyn is damaged and mental illness is sexy. So there's this guy, he's asking, are we romanticizing mental illness? And the woman is like, absolutely. So she's saying that mental illness is sexy. Men like a girl who's not mentally there. I don't know, like it's like this weird ass conversation about this singer and making it seem like she's not human, which is really crazy. Like it's giving me the ick. And she makes this bold claim talking about quit trying to cock block America, let people enjoy sex, drugs, and hot girls. Like what in the actual fuck? I think Nikki is the real villain here.
Mental illness is sexy.
No, it's not.
Yeah. If you live in Sioux City, Iowa, you are never going to meet a girl like Chelsea. She's not walking down the street. She didn't go to your high school. She doesn't work at the bar or the diner, and she did not marry your best friend. And if on the off chance she did, she is still never ever going to fuck you unless she has some very, very serious mental problems. And that right there is why mental illness is sexy.
Y'all hearing that, right? I'm not gonna put a video clip, but y'all are hearing that, right? She said what she said. I'm not gonna explain it. And then all of a sudden her nipples like pop out of her robe while they're taking more pictures of her, and this dude with the man bun stops and is like, can I talk to you for a second? And they step outside to have a conversation. So dude with the man bun says, according to the nudity writer, you can only show the side boob and not the full areola. And the photographer claims that he didn't ask her to move her top, she did it on her own. So Jocelyn comes up to them while they're having the conversation about her titties, and she's like, hey, what's going on? And then the guys start like, your tits. And then they explain to her like, yeah, you cannot show your areolas on a picture. And she's like, what? Why? It's my body. Which is a great claim to say, it is her body, but at the same time there are rules and regulations for shit, and I guess she's like a rebel superstar or whatever, so this is the act she's gonna go for, then cool, whatever. So while they're having a conversation with Jocelyn about, you know, women's rights and her body is her body, she can do whatever she wants to do, blah 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 blah, there's a black woman that comes up to Haim and tells him that they need to talk outside. So when they go talk outside, the lady talks about how there's a picture of Jocelyn with ejaculation juice on her face. Ejaculation juice is crazy. Oh my god, I'm gonna call it that from now on. So the lady that tells Jaime about the picture, her name is Destiny, and Destiny comes up to Jaime and shows him a picture of Jocelyn with cum on her face. So Jaime is asking the assistant, which her name is Leia, who took the picture. She's like, I don't know. Literally, Jocelyn took a selfie, so it was on her, but someone else leaked it, and that's what they're trying to figure out. And the assistant is like literally like trying to like recreate her doing it. She's just like on her knees like like just trying to recreate the picture on some weird, like, I don't know. Jaime is like, why would she do this? Like, why would she do this? And then like Destiny's like I mean, like, she probably had a big ass dick and she felt good, so she took a picture. Like, they're just having a whole conversation about this damn picture, and it's really crazy. And Jaime is fucking crazy because he said, when I find out who did this, I'm gonna put a bullet in their fucking head. I'm like, especially with his accent, like, he sounds like a fucking mafia killer. He sounds like he from the mafia, bitch. Don't fuck with Jaime. I feel like Jaime finna be on some weird, I don't know. So Jocelyn hears this let out conversation and she walks outside and asks them what's going on, and they all just kind of lie to her and say, oh, we're getting lunch, oh, we're just doing nothing, da da da. They're trying to like avoid telling her what's going on, and so she completely skips over what they're saying, and she tells Jaime that she does not like the intimacy coordinator. So after she leaves, they basically agree like not to tell her until it's the right time. Jaime goes to talk to do with the man bun, which is the intimacy coordinator, and he's like, hey, let me talk to you for a second. So Jocelyn's taking more titty pictures with the photographer, and Nikki's like, scratch like a little kitty cat. Like, Nikki's just weird to me. Like, is it just me, or do y'all think Nikki is weird as fuck? Nikki with 2 Ks is never okay. So Jaime and Man Bun's conversation is basically like, don't you want to take care of her, da 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 da? And then Jaime's like, no, I got it, I'll take care of her, it's fine. So while they're having a conversation, mind you, they're having a conversation in the hallway. A guy comes out the bathroom, and then Jaime's like, come on, let's go in a different room, I don't want people to hear this. So he takes Man Bun in the bathroom, pushes him, and locks him in the bathroom. And then a guy that walks in the hallway sees, and then Jaime's like, I'll pay you money if you keep this door closed for like a couple hours. And he's like, I bet. He gives him like a portion of the money. He's like, I'll give it to you later. I'm like, Jaime on some shit, Nikki on some shit. I don't trust any of these people that are working for Jocelyn. He said, you want $5,000? Keep this door shut for 3 hours. That is a down payment on a car. Ooh, I just noticed something too, because I'm watching this as I'm filming. The music gets turned up louder while she's like dancing and getting her pictures taken. And she says, well, if the music's getting louder, then someone has her phone. That could potentially mean someone took the photo from her phone and leaked it themselves, which is absolutely crazy, which means somebody in her house that day leaked that photo, because they were saying that it was leaked literally 11 minutes ago. Alright, listen, I have 2 guesses on who I think leaked the picture, okay? My number 1 guess is Leia, okay? I feel like Leia is on some like petty best friend shit like in Euphoria. And then my second guess is Jaime, because I feel like he played so dumb when he saw the picture. He was like, wait, what is that? What is that? What is that? My top answer though is Leia. I feel like Leia was the one that leaked the picture. Also, first of all, knowing like where her phone is and knowing like exactly what boy went into her room at what time. Like, be for real. Like, Leia knows everything because she's her best friend and her fucking assistant. So I just feel like the assistant did it. I'm just saying. So this is the part where Jaime finally shows Nikki the picture, and they're like, what the fuck was going on? And so Jaime and Nikki go outside to talk to this dude with this ugly ass brown ass suit. So there's this guy with this brown suit that's on the phone as Nikki and Jaime are approaching. So he's talking about their number 1 trending topic on Twitter, and they need to do something about this picture. And then Nikki goes on to say it could be worse, which she's not wrong. It literally could be definitely worse. Like, she could literally be entirely naked. Getting your pictures leaked is obviously a big deal, but it's not as big as if it were like a more intimate picture. And Jaime's like, how is that possible? What are you talking about? It could be worse. We talking about how could it be worse than this? And Nikki's like, well, with Jocelyn, anything's fucking possible. And then a beautiful girl with red hair named Talia comes up walking in. Talia is a reporter for Vanity Fair. The scene moves on to Jocelyn and her assistant slash best friend looking around the house to find her phone. Jocelyn claims she knows exactly where she left it, which is on the bathroom sink, but then she looks and her phone is not there. And then Leia says like, what? That's so weird. Like, that really just makes me think she's the one that leaked the picture. Like, the way Leia said that give me like bad vibes. Like, I feel like Leia is like doing some crazy, I don't know. So Jocelyn asks Leia like, is everything okay? Like, what are you guys talking about out there? And Leia just like completely avoids the question and tells her that the dance has been outside for 45 minutes waiting for her. While Jocelyn's getting ready for dance practice, there's Nikki, Talia, Jaime, and Brown Suit. They're all talking about how Jocelyn's mother died of cancer and she was there for her last dying breath. Or, well, Nikki's just talking about it. And then the guy in the brown suit's like, yeah, we shouldn't go deep into that. So there's this dude named Andrew that pulls up to the gate of Jocelyn's house in this red convertible. And he's on the phone with somebody while he's in the car talking about, oh, if you don't say it's revenge porn, then they're not going to take it down. Yeah, there's this whole thing about this picture and they're trying to figure out what the fuck to do with this picture. Andrew's really trying to get through this gate, but security's like, do you have ID? He says, no, I don't fucking have ID. Like, he's just trying to get through and the security security's like not letting him through at all. The scene goes back to the four of them talking on the roof, talking about how when the situation with her mom happened, they refunded tickets, they pushed back the tour, and they're talking about how tickets are going back on sale and her new single drops in 2 weeks or whatever. Basically talking about Jocelyn's career in the future after whatever happened with her mother. So the scene moves on to Jocelyn and her assistants. They're walking to her dance practice, and the assistant lets Jocelyn know that Talia from Vanity Fair is there, and she's walking on her way smoking a cigarette, which is like, be for real. She's literally holding a cigarette while shaking Talia's hand. Like, that's so like disgustingly unprofessional. Talia goes on to say that she used to watch Jocelyn on Rock House, which means she used to be a child actor. Talia says, I hope you're doing well. It sure has been a lot today. Mind you, Jocelyn still does not know about the picture at this moment. So after Talia makes that comment, Jocelyn walks away and asks her assistant, is everything okay? And then again, her assistant lies and says, yeah. And then she meets her dancers at the practice. Jocelyn goes to a girl named Diane and hugs her. Talia and the other four that were just talking on the roof are watching her do her dance practice, and Talia is like, so she doesn't know about the photo yet. Finkelstein gets a hold of Jaime, and that's how they let him through. So Destiny lets Jaime know that Frankstein's at the gate, and he's like, are you fucking serious? And then she's like, what you want to do, lock him in the closet too? Making a remark about the dude that she locked in the closet. So it wasn't the bathroom, it was the closet. So Jocelyn is practicing dancing, and they look pretty good. Like, she's actually a bomb dancer. Like, hello, like if she was a real singer, she would definitely be famous. Like, she's probably the white girl version of The Weeknd, especially the music she makes too. Like, is giving. That's what it's giving. And while she's dancing, they're talking about how the industry is really brutal to women like her, especially with Britney. So when they're doing the choreography, they're saying that like it's kind of like an homage to Britney, especially with the stuff she's been through, especially the stuff she's still going through now. I respect them for having this topic. So as they're doing the choreography, Jocelyn is struggling to remember the moves, and so they have Diane play her part to show her how to do it. Frankstein comes in and Haim makes a Jewish joke. Andrew is like, I'm not in the mood for your Jewish shit today. And then Brown Suit's on the phone talking about, if you're linking to the photo, then you're part of the problem. I don't know who he's talking to on the phone, but that was a good remark, because like even in real life, people talk about, oh, this photo is so disgusting, da 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 da, but you're the main person sharing it and reposting it and talking about it and sharing on your story. So Andrew's talking about tickets aren't selling, and he wishes that there's 4,000 people who sold out arenas and da 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 da. Maybe Andrew is her publicist. I'm not exactly sure what kind of role he plays here. Alright, so Brown Jacket, Nikki, Andrew, and Talia are all sitting on an outside couch talking, and they're having their little banter. Andrew talking about his 15-year-old daughter sent him a picture of Jocelyn, like, which is really crazy. Like, why would your 15-year-old daughter send you that? That's really a problem. But they're having a conversation again about the picture. This whole episode revolves around a picture and something else, which we'll get to. So they're talking about they're worried for Jocelyn having another psychotic break, because I guess apparently she had a psychotic break, just like Britney. That's why they were comparing her to Britney. Destiny talking about she never had a psychotic break, and she says that she was exhausted, she was tired. And as they're talking about her having a psychotic break, they wave to her and they're like, nah, does that look like someone who's having a psychotic break? And she's just wearing sunglasses, just probably shit-faced, like straight up RBF, like with her sunglasses on. Yeah, there's definitely something going on up there, and I'm worried. Like, when I watch shows and shit, I'm invested in the characters. Like, I'm really like putting myself in their world. She's a victim in all this. People talking shit about her and her character. Like, she's a victim in all this, in this whole show. Nikki's a crazy character, because she goes on to talk about Jocelyn reminds her of when she was her age, and she was like getting effed in the booty in the stairwell and then going to meetings after. And then Andrew talking about, yeah, I know, I was one of them doing that. Like, be so serious. Like, Nikki is a crazy character. Nikki talk about having her around feels like you living in communist China. She talk about Diane dancing. That's really out of pocket. Like, I did not notice it my first time watching this. Mind y'all, I watched this like the day it came out, so I'm literally just reevaluating what's going on. And Jocelyn just sitting there watching Diane dancing in her spot, and she's wearing sunglasses, and she's literally wiping her face crying, which I know, like, that's how you know, like, she's going through shit. Like, she fighting demons in her head. She going through it, and I'm really worried for her, like, honestly. So after they're done with the choreography, Jocelyn's about to start, and she goes into Diane and she's talking about, God, I wish I could dance like you. Like, she's like comparing herself to Diane. I'm starting to see what kind of character she's really gonna be. Like, I'm really thinking of like how this is gonna like calculate itself throughout the series, you know, especially the shit that happened. I keep talking about the shit that's gonna happen, but like, I'm telling you right now, this shit gets crazy. Diane encourages Jocelyn and says, you got this. Right after Jocelyn asks is everyone watching me? Like, yes, everyone's watching you. You're the star, girly. She's worried about people watching her because maybe she has anxiety. So some intense music plays as Jocelyn looks up at the roof, looking at the people watching her. Like, those 4 people right there are, like, they're probably a sus group of individuals. Like I said, I'm worried for Joss. Very scared because I feel like the industry is gonna fuck her over so hard, bro. The intense music they play is not helping. And Jocelyn tells herself, like, an affirmation. You got this, Joss. That's what you need to do. Give yourself some affirmations and shit. Come on now. So after she nails the choreography, she literally ate. Like, I literally had to rewatch it and be like, yeah, she literally ate. Everybody cheer her on because obviously she ate that because Jocelyn's that bitch. Here we go back to the scene where everyone's on the outside couch talking about they should claim it as revenge porn. It's always back to the photo. Like, can we just, like, get on with the photo? Like, we're done. Like, we know, we get it. Get over it. Like, come on. It's never, ever that serious. Alright, so Leia, her assistant, goes up to Jocelyn and she's like, alright, there's a few things we need to talk to you about. So they walk back into the house. Jocelyn claims, she's like, I knew it. Something all day was happening. What's going on? And here they show the picture. Now that I'm looking at this picture again, it's very much like they edited this picture to where it had like the little, anyway, they show a picture of her with the cum on the face and Jocelyn is shook. She's like, they said they subpoenaed Reddit and they're gonna track it down and they're gonna get it taken down. And Jocelyn says, oh, it could be a lot worse, which Nikki had said earlier. And they're all like, yeah, we agree. Yeah. And then Nikki claims that, yeah, we're just gonna wake up tomorrow. She's gonna be claimed as some kind of feminist hero. Brown Suit's like, yeah, we'll start with victim and then go from there. And then Jaime's like, what are y'all talking about? This can't be worse. This is the worst. Like, Jaime needs to calm the fuck down. Y'all, I apologize for saying his name wrong this whole video. It's Haim, not Jaime, but I'll say it right the next episode, I promise. Jaime needs to calm the fuck down for sure, because he's on 1 or 2, maybe even 3. And then Nikki talk about victim and feminist hero is the same difference. No, stop playing. Stop playing. And when Jaime is like, how can this be any worse? Brown Suit's like, well, she's coming out of it famous more than before. Destiny's like, yeah, exactly. They're trying to see the good side in this, even though it's literally a picture of her with ejaculation juice on her face. So Jocelyn meets Diane in the sauna, and guess what? She's smoking another cigarette. Like, this girl and her cigarettes, oh my goodness. She has like 3, 4, 5, 6 a day. They're just sitting in silence, and Jocelyn says, so what was the name of that club? And guess who she meets at the club? The Weeknd, my husband. Y'all already know The Weeknd, my husband. The guy I have a shrine for on my wall. Not this wall, but it's a different wall. So they at the club taking shots, and they with that one girl that was on Euphoria. I forgot what her name was on Euphoria. It's been a while since I've seen Euphoria. They at the club taking shots and shit, having a good time, dancing and stuff. Tedros, aka The Weeknd, is the DJ, and he just so happens to spot Jocelyn. Like, while she partying, he just notices her in the club, looking at her and shit like a creep. Let me just say this, you guys. I'm not gonna say The Weeknd because he's not The Weeknd. He's Tedros. Tedros is a motherfucking creepy ass character. That's how you know Abel is a good ass actor, because I swear that motherfucker is so creepy. Like, I'm scared. I'm scared of that nigga. Like, hell nah. And there's a scene where when they get out the car, there's a bunch of paparazzi like raiding Jocelyn while they're in the convertible. She looks like she's having such anxiety, which I could only imagine just having spam pictures at me. Like, oh my goodness. I bet it's cool the first experience, but like after a while it's probably like, you're attacking me at this point. So Tedros is the DJ, and he said, we here to dance, we here to drink, we here to fall in love, we here to fuck. He said this is a church for all you sinners. And like I said, he's the owner of the club, so he can pretty much say and do whatever the fuck he wants. So after that, Tedros literally stops the music and he's like, hold up, stop the music. Is that Jocelyn on the dance floor in my club? And he claims to be like, nah. You're an icon. You're a legend. He said, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Can I dance with you? Trying to be slick and shit. I mean, listen, if The Weeknd asked me to dance, that's not The Weeknd, that's Tedros. But if The Weeknd, not Tedros, The Weeknd asked me to dance, I'd be like, yes, and we can do something else after that. And she's like embarrassed, like while he's publicly asking her to dance with him. He turns the music back on and he finna go and dance with Jocelyn. And she's like, is he actually coming over here? Jocelyn's like, who is he? And then Diane's like, his name is Tedros. He owns the club. He's smooth, I ain't gonna lie. Like, Tedros is smooth. He like coming up to her and like dancing. He like, I'm like, okay, like Tedros is smooth. I see why she like him. And you know, they start getting more comfortable with each other. He's encouraging her to dance more. She just like completely lets go, like white girl wasted dancing. Like, she just completely let herself go. And then as they get closer while they're dancing, he's like, you're dangerous. I mean, how could anyone not fall in love with you? Like, he's just so creepy. I mean, how can someone not fall in love with you? Like, ugh. She's like, I don't even know you. And then Leia's just watching it the whole time, like, looking really disgusted, because, like, she understands his vibe like me. Like, his vibe is just giving, like, yuck. While Rhea's, like, looking all, like, nervous and scared watching Jocelyn, there's this bald dude in the back staring at her like, and there's like some creepy ass music playing. I don't know who that is, but he looked crazy as hell. Tedros goes on to say, you fit perfectly in my arms. Jocelyn's blushing. I'm like, that is the cutest thing you can say to somebody, but I feel like it's just so manipulative. Yeah, and like after she says that, she starts feeling him, like she's dancing and grubbing her ass all over his, you know what, like bouncing up and down. Then they go on to sit down. She's smoking a cigarette. So they're just having a conversation over some creepy ass music. She's like, so you own this place? He's like, welcome to my shithole. They're just trying to get to know each other and stuff, but like this creepy music is playing in the background and it switches back and forth between them dancing and them talking. The whole thing just makes me feel so uneasy. And there's a scene that's playing that shows like while he was watching her, like there was a guy that was pouring shots and then he gave it to her. And I don't know if it's because there was something in it or whatever, but they were like putting emphasis on the screen being on the guy pouring the shots. So I don't really know what to think about that. And while they're dancing, they're like making out, and then it cuts to a scene where they're making out in the bathroom and they about to. And while they're making out, Jocelyn said, I never fucked anyone with a rat tail before. He's like, huh? Is that what you call it? He does have a rat tail though. That hair is absolutely terrible. Leia tries to find her and she's like, Joss, and then they completely kill the mood. And Tedros does this cutest little laugh and he's like, what was that? So Leia is looking through the club for Jocelyn and they're just making out, about to fuck. Like Rhea's over here trying to look for Jocelyn, trying to get her back, and they're just like trying to fuck in the bathroom or the janitor's closet or wherever. So Leia can't find Jocelyn, and Jocelyn's like literally hiding from her around the corner, and then she notices that Leia's gone. They both sit on the stairs and Tedros is like, gosh, what a fucking boner killer, Lord have mercy. And then Jocelyn made a joke. She said, I know, she prevented us from starting our family, I'm so sorry. And then there's this fine ass chocolate boy with some blonde hair coming up to Leia, and he's like, wanna dance? And he's so far too. I'm like, hello, like a fine ass dude asked you to dance, he finna say yes, bitch. He went up to your ass talking about something, you want to dance. He fine. Hello. And they have a deep conversation, and Tedros goes on to ask Jocelyn, so when you dropping this new album? And Jocelyn's like, never. He's like, never. She says that her album is stupid and she hates it, and she says that he's gonna hate it too. He said, you hate it? How can you put something out that you hate? And then she's like, well, you obviously don't work in the music industry. And I'm like, real life him does. That's why that line is so funny to me. And she says that pop music is a little too superficial, and Tedros says that Prince would disagree, and she's like, I love Prince. And then she goes on to say, like, make music like Prince, is that what I have to do? He's like, no, don't make music like Prince. You can't make music like Prince. Pop music is like the ultimate Trojan horse, and they're just having like a nerd talk about pop music and shit, having deep conversations and shit, him manipulating her to thinking that they have a deep real connection. And then Jocelyn's like, I like you. He says, I like you too. And he's like, you have the best job in the world, you should be having way more fun. And then they cuddle on the stairs, which is trying to make you think, oh, they're a cute couple, when really he's a fucking psychopath. And they're cuddling while she's still smoking a cigarette. Like, oh my god, her and her cigarettes, yuck. I bet her pussy stank. Oh shit, this part. Alright, so then she comes home from the club and she sits on her couch and she starts masturbating. The scene literally shows her like rubbing down there. Next morning she gets woken up again the same way, and then the scene goes on to have a interview with Talia, the Vanity Fair reporter, and they have her phone that's recording. It's a voice recording, and Talia goes on to ask Jocelyn how long she lived here in her house, and Jocelyn says 2 years. And then Talia asks, did your mom live here? And then Jocelyn goes quiet and she picks up a cigarette. Her and her fucking cigarettes. God fucking Lee. So Talia pauses the recording and she goes on to tell Jocelyn that, look, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but I think that you're impressive. I mean, like, the way that you handled that photo coming out, like, I mean, you didn't let that derail you, and I think that's so powerful of you, da-da-da-da. Jocelyn then unpauses the recording and she asks, sorry, was there a question? Talia asks, did that photo hurt the betrayal of it? Jocelyn says, of course, but I mean, what am I supposed to do? She's like, I don't know, fuck up the guy that did it to you. She said, like that piece you're writing? And then Talia's like, yeah, actually, I think it'd be really really inspirational. She said that how she handled the picture is a big deal, especially for women empowerment. And then Jocelyn goes on to ask, revenge is empowerment? And then Talia says, it's human, I think. Jocelyn goes on to say, well, I think 5 years ago, if you told me that I had to talk about it, then I buy into it, but now I just know I'm being hustled. Talia then goes to pause the recording again, and I swear Jocelyn's looking at her like through her glass, because she's wearing glasses, so she's looking at her glasses and she literally pushes them back up. Like she's looking like this, and then she pushes them back up. Like she's giving her the literal death stare. Like Jocelyn looks scary as fuck, like she could literally be capable of murder. And Talia goes on to say that her editor is on her neck talking about she wants you to talk about the photo and confess to it. And then Jocelyn's like, I get it. And then she plays the recording again. And then Jocelyn's like, we all have to answer to somebody. And then Talia goes to ask her, who do you answer to? And Jocelyn like takes a pause. She hits her cigarette. She's like, God. The next scene moves on to Leah and Jocelyn sitting down watching an old movie, and Jocelyn goes on to ask Leah, do you like the single? And then Leah's like, of course, I love it. And then Jocelyn's like, really? And she's like, Joss, it's amazing. And then she goes on to say that she knows the song works commercially, but every time she listens to it, she's like embarrassed and she just does not like the song. Maybe because she feels like it's not her, she's not telling the truth. And Leah's like, well, maybe because you know it's not something that you've done before, you know, it's like edgy but in a cool way. Like she's really trying to like convince her like your song is good. And then Jocelyn goes on to like repeat the lyrics and it just sounds like shit. And then Leia's like, well, if you say the lyrics, it's going to sound bad, obviously. Jocelyn says that she hasn't done anything in a year and she feels like people are just waiting for her to fail and she just wants to prove them wrong. And Leah goes to say that she always second guesses herself every time she puts out something new. And like Jocelyn's like having like a really insecure dump right now. She's like, I don't want to make a fool of myself. I think it's stupid. She is a very insecure person, which is really bad. And that's probably why I feel like she's so drawn to Tedros, because Tedros makes her feel special. And then Jocelyn derails the conversation. She's like, I think I'm gonna invite Tedros over. Oh my God, I just remembered something that happened when she invites Tedros over. Leah's like, the Rat Tail Club guy? I don't know, like I don't like his vibe. He just seems kind of rapey. And then Jocelyn goes on to say, well, that's kind of what I like about him. And then I thought that was fucking weird. I'm like, you like that he has a rapey vibe? You've got to be kidding me. And then remember that old movie I was talking about? So the characters was like, what happened? She kills him, which makes me think there's foreshadowing going on here. And then next team goes up to the gate. It's the gate. The gate. Like the gate slowly opens and then you just see Tedros just standing there. Like the gates are just creaking open. So Jocelyn's getting ready and Leia comes in the room. She says, Tedros is at the gate. And she's like, is that what you're wearing? And Jocelyn goes like, yeah, I'm just gonna be like, I'm lounging. And she's gonna wear heels. She's like, yeah, I want to be taller than him. She looks like a sexy bitch. Like, hello. She's getting ready in the mirror and shit. There's creepy ass music. And then Tedros walks up to the door with his creepy self. Y'all hear that music? It's fucking creepy. So Leia goes to answer the door. And Tedros sees Leia. He's like, Leia. And she's like, yes. He comes up to her, grabs her face, and kisses her. I'm like, ugh. Leia's like, thank you for that. That's creepy as fuck. Like, a random dude just grabs your face and kisses you. I don't care if it is the weekend. You come to my house and just grab my face and kiss me. I'm punching you in your face. I don't care how pretty you is. Ugh. Okay, sorry. I'm like rewatching it. I'm like, ugh. So Leia is walking Tedros in the living room. She's telling him that, oh, Jocelyn's getting ready, you can wait in the living room and do whatever. And Tedros is looking around. He notices the cameras. He's looking around all around the mansion, being creepy as hell. And he's got this toothpick in his mouth. Leia's like, just make yourself at home. And then he goes to say, you sure? Which I don't know what he means by you sure. And then Leia's so confused, like, huh? Tedros just walks around the living room, like grazing his hand like over the couch, looking around, walking fucking menacingly like a fucking creepy ass bitch. Tedros is so creepy. He's walking around, looking around her shit with his ugly ass rat tail with a little toothpick in his mouth. He sees a piano. He plays like a creepy ass note. Listen. And then sorry, that was so loud. I'm sorry, that was so loud. And then Liz is watching him like. So after he plays those 4 creepy ass notes, Tedros looks up like this. Just looking creepy as all hell. And then Jocelyn over here in the bathroom spraying perfume and getting ready and shit to get her dick appointment. And then Tedros over here making himself some ice, whatever, whiskey, tequila, whatever. Tequila on the rocks, bitch. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know my drinks. And there's just some creepy ass music. He's just looking around like this. opening his bottle and shit, pouring around. Like, he just making himself at home looking around like a creep. He's sitting on the couch and shit. He makes his funny ass face where he like gathers himself on the pillow. He's like, ugh, he smells the pillow. He smells the pillow. I didn't realize he did that. When you rewatch shit, you notice things you didn't notice the first time. That motherfucker sniffed the fucking pillow. Like, what the fuck? Ugh, and Leia's just watching him the whole time, like she's just watching him the whole time, just smelling this shit and being creepy. And here she goes smoking her cigarette again. Like, damn. Tedros finds a full body mirror. He like fixes himself in the mirror. He does like a little twirl, which is fucking hilarious. And I believe he's in the bathroom in this scene. He gets like a fucking tube of, I'm sure it's cocaine, a tube and a tiny spoon, and scoops it and sniffs it. Ow, that shit nasty. Like, listen, that shit nasty. He literally clears his throat and like hogs a loogie, and then he starts practicing saying hello angel. He's like, hello angel. Like, that's just so creepy as fuck. Like, stop. Next scene comes, and Jocelyn's walking down the stairs with her hands down, looking down all sexy and shit. She walking down the stairs and looking at Tedros in her nice lingerie and shit. He looking at her with them sexy eyes. He takes her hand, and he's like, hello, angel. Like, he practiced. She's like, do you call all the girls angels? He's like, just you. She's like, yeah, right. Cause I know he a creepy ass motherfucker. I bet he done it before with other girls and shit. And then yet again, they move into the piano room in the living room, and she's smoking another cigarette. They both take a shot. They take multiple shots actually. And then Leia kills the vibe, and she's like, hey Josh, you gotta be up at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Jocelyn's like, okay. And then Tedros like fucks up with her. Jocelyn explains that Leia is her assistant and best friend. So she asks if she could play her new song, and he's like, are you desperate to put your new song out? And then she's like, no, because I feel like everyone's telling me it's good, but they're lying. And then he's like, why? She says she's not desperate to put the song out because everyone's telling her it's great and she doesn't believe them. And he's like, why? And then she's like, because when you're famous, everyone lies to you. And now they're both going down to the studio drunk as hell. Jocelyn goes to show him the song, and then she plays the song, and she's like, oh, it's not mixed or anything. And while the song is playing, she's trying to take off her shoes, and she's like struggling with the ankle part, and he like seductively grabs her leg and like slowly like takes off the shoe while he's just staring at her. And she's lighting another cigarette while he's taking off her shoes. After he takes off her shoes, turns around, listens to the music, and then she stops it. And then she's like, that's it. He's like, why'd you stop it? And she's like, because it's done. And I know you hate it. He's like, I liked it. He said, it's a hit. Yeah, I see why the label wants to put it out. She says that it feels too superficial because she don't know if it's honest. Let me just play what he said, just briefly.
So you're not afraid to release I'm a nun instead?
So he's holding a glass of cold drink, right? She has her chest open. He rubs the cold glass down her chest, just getting the shivers from this. Apparently this is a fucking fetish, coldness on you. And then she's like, I'm not a nun. He's like, are you sure?
I'm positive.
And like, I can just tell she's like genuinely liking it. She's like, I'm positive. Fully enjoying him rubbing cold drink on her. That is a crazy question to ask. He said, is this the first song you recorded after your mother? And she shakes her head yes. He said, well, I like it. It's good, yeah. Just one minor note.
One minor note. I don't believe you. You're gonna sing a song called I'm a Freak. You should at least sing it like you know how to fuck.
See, y'all heard him?
Makes you think I don't know how to fuck.
Your vocal performance.
Wow. Fuck you. Fuck you.
You ever listen to Donna Summer? Love to Love You, Baby? When she sings, there's no doubt that she knows how to fuck.
She's like, fuck you, and she like kicks him, right? He catches her leg, and he puts her leg like over his shoulder like this, and then he gets a piece of ice, and he's just like running ice down her leg, like, as they're talking about like knowing how to sound like you fuck. I don't get it. And like, he's slowly running the ice down like where her cooter part is, and then he's talking about like how Donna Summer has like the voice where it's like you can feel it, you can hear it, that she sounds like she knows how to fuck. And she's like, but not with me, not yet. yeah. He asks her if she sings sitting down and she says yes, and he's like, get up. And I'm like, uh-oh. He pursues to take off her robe, like with the string first, and then he puts the, okay, this is the crazy part. This is the crazy part I'm talking about. So as Tedros is taking off her robe, he says, you need to stop caring about what people think. You are too locked up in your head. He says, you need to block out the world, and he says, do you trust me? She's like, no. And then he proceeds to put the robe over her head. He ties the rope around her neck. He pulls out a fucking knife. Then he points the knife at her mouth. He's like, don't be scared. And she's breathing heavily like she has anxiety or something. And he's like, open your mouth. Then he slices a hole in her mouth. And then he's like, now you can sing. And then the episode ends there. I'm like, what? What the fuck, Tedros? What is going on, Tedros? Abel, I'm talking to Abel now. You are an amazing actor because I'm scared of you. And I cannot wait for Sunday to watch the next episode and go over it with you guys. Because this shit is crazy, bruh. It's really crazy. Alright, y'all, but that is it for today's video. Okay, thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you big thumbs up, subscribe for more. Also, turn on my post notifications so that way you get notified when I upload twice a week, boo. I also have other social medias that'll be linked down below. Okay? I love y'all so much you don't even know, and I'll see y'all next motherfucking video, okay? Peace.